r/NoSleep. Posted by u/Theeaglestrikes. I'm only allowed to open my eyes for 1 minute per day. From midnight of any given day to the next, you may only open your eyes for 60 seconds. Until your dying day, this law shall pertain. The thunderous voice rattled the very foundations of my house, but I disregarded the crystal clear warning. Stupid, given how uneasy I felt. It was the most lucid dream of my life. That should have told me something. I should have realized it was more than a nightmare. When I awoke, I carried out my ordinary daily routine. I ate breakfast with my girlfriend, and we both went to work. My day seemed mundane. Just the way I like it. Towards the end of my working hours, whilst I was in the office bathroom, I noticed something strange. As I was washing my hands, something peculiar caught my attention in the mirror. The reflection revealed a pair of crisp, white brogues, which were protruding through the gap beneath the cubicle door. Until that moment, I hadn't seen or heard anybody else in the room. When I turned to face the cubicle, I was horrified to find that the reflection had deceived me. There was nobody in the cubicle. There were no bizarrely out-of-place white shoes. Nothing. Shaking it off as a trick of the light, I returned my gaze to the mirror. That was when I screamed. Well, I tried to scream, but I was horrified to find that my voice box had failed me. Petrified, and mouth agape, I gawped at the man who was standing in the now open cubicle doorway. Well, he had the shape of a man, but that was all. He was some sort of macabre mannequin. The creature had a hairless head made of stone, and its eyes looked like small, gray pebbles. A razor-sharp, horizontal slit served as a mouth on its white-skinned face. By that, I mean it was as white as a sheet. The same could be said of the stone man's attire. The thing wore a white, collared shirt, white trousers, and white brogues. The haunting entity raised a finger to its lips with purposeful poise. It soundlessly shushed me. At that moment, my reflection moved, even though I did not. My mirror self smiled demonically, before producing a saw. My reflection leant forwards, placing its left arm on the sink counter, and it began to saw at the wrist. I attempted to produce tortured sounds, but my throat felt as if it had been strangled. I silently bawled as an invisible tool severed my real-world hand from the wrist, mirroring what my reflection was doing. A torrential shower of blood poured from the wound that my mirror self had created. In a matter of seconds, it was all over. My lifeless, detached hand was lying in the sink, and I was tightly clutching my wrist, attempting to stem the bleeding. I hazily stumbled into the communal office area, making good use of my voice, which had finally returned. As my colleagues rushed to me, I fell to the floor and faded away. Whilst tumbling through some black chasm of an unconscious realm, that same disembodied voice spoke to me. Non-compliance must be punished. 1 strike per day. The first strike is physical. The second strike is emotional. The third strike is final. I opened my eyes to a hospital room. Streetlights shone through the window, and I was surrounded by doctors, family members, and friends. I concocted a story to explain my severed limb. It was a clunky fib about a mishap with a machine in the warehouse. My tall tale could easily have unraveled if anybody had asked questions, but I think my friends and family were simply glad that I was okay. After a solid hour of talking to a room full of people, I was depleted. I must have dozed off, and I woke to find that everybody had left. I was lying in a darkened hospital room, contemplating the horrors that had befallen me. I wasn't planning on questioning the featureless demon ever again. The first strike had been grueling enough. I squeezed my eyelids together, and a single tear trickled down my right cheek. I had never considered the pain that would come with a life of blindness. I jumped in horror at the return of my tormentor. This time, it did not come to me as a vision. Too late, a sourceless voice taunted. It's Tuesday. No, I internally despaired. A day has passed? How? I assumed it had still been Monday. I should have kept my eyes closed. I had been high on all manner of medicine, and I thought I was safe. I thought it was still the day of my incident. I only kept my eyes open because I thought I'd already been dealt a strike for the day, I sobbed. A new day, the voice whispered. Second strike. Suddenly, the lights in my pitch-black room sprung to life. And what I saw was so horrific that I'm struggling to put it into words. I'll try. In the chair to the side of me, I saw my girlfriend, Lucy. She hadn't gone home. She was still smiling at me, frozen in the position she had assumed earlier. Lucy's skin was lifeless, and her clothes were soaked in blood. The bottom of her shirt had been lifted to reveal her disemboweled corpse. I wasn't sure how my tormentor had inflicted such a dire, excruciating death without altering the contented expression on her face, but I didn't want to know. Yet again, I struggled to make a sound. I wanted to scream. I wanted to scream louder than I'd ever screamed before. I'd never felt such sorrow. I hammered the emergency button beside my bed, and staff rushed to the scene. The days since that night have been a blur. I've faced so many questions from detectives, but I can't give them the answers they need. They wouldn't believe me, would they? I refuse to open my eyes. No matter how many times people encourage me to look at them, I keep my eyelids firmly pressed together. During the day, it's fine. I don't want to see the world, anyway. It's at night that the ghastliness truly begins. I've been hearing things. Barely audible scuttling noises ricochet off the walls of my box room. Miniature footsteps, I think. When I open my eyes, the sounds stop, but I'm too scared to open them for more than a few seconds at a time. What are they? What do they want? I'm currently typing with my eyes closed. I hope the autocorrect function has been working. They're about to discharge me from the hospital. I don't know what to do. Even if you were to try, I don't think you could help me. I just thought I'd tell my story. This post is a warning. If the monolithic stone creature speaks to you, do as it says. I can't offer more help, I'm afraid. Obeying its request might not even save you. After all, I still don't know what I'm hearing in the dark. Next story of this video. Posted by you/just see the see. Hey pal, here are all the rules for guarding the amusement park. Recorded at 8:21 p.m. Hello? Is this thing working? Ah, this is working. Hey there, I am really grateful you are coming to work here at Carl's Amusements Park. Although this job may seem a tad bit demanding, the pay is really great here. Looking at your past achievements, we have high hopes for you. But enough of that, let me inform you of some instructions you will need to follow. Some are minor, which means you won't be punished too much. However, if you break the major rules, we will terminate your employment or something else could happen. Alright, check out the next recording, will ya? Recorded at 8:23 p.m. Alright, here are the rules. Rule number 1, trust us. Perhaps the most important rule, it is vital you listen to the rules even if they seem a bit sketchy at times. So yeah, do that. We won't know if you break this rule. However, if you don't listen to this instruction, we have zero responsibility if you come back missing limbs, traumatized, hurt and dead. Wow. I would listen to this rule if I were you. Rule number 2, interacting with us. Alright, so we have a couple of staff here, maybe around 5. They are much more experienced than you and handle more stuff than you. Of course we pay them more, but be aware that you cannot rely on them. They have enough work to do. If you need help with your workload, you should ignore some tasks and email them to Harry. He works here as well and finishes the tasks our employee hasn't finished. In case you haven't emailed him, then refer to Code A. Rule number 3, escape. Sometimes the lamps around our attractions may turn off. This is due to our pal Harry finishing other tasks involving electricity the others couldn't do, or you. When the lamps go out, certain creatures come out. Some resemble anthropomorphic foxes, kinda like the fox in the movie Zootopia. And others are a bit like monkeys. I noticed our manager is secretive about these guys. Perhaps they are a surprise? Gee, I hope so. Just in case, if you are near you, then you should curl up into a ball horizontally. They are aggressive to human-looking objects. Reason. I think this may be because they might think you are an intruder as they can't see your guard uniform. I observed this behavior when they ravaged a picture of a child smiling when I used to be a guard. They are kinda scary and weird, but in my opinion the manager is even scarier. I don't know what happens if they notice you, but better off if you follow my instruction. Email Harry if they prevent you from doing a task. Rule number 3, the system. We have a system here which illuminates the entire park. I call it the BLE. It stands for the bright light emitter. When this happens, the park will be lit up. We need you to exterminate any creatures such as mice and squirrels roaming around here when you see them. The animals here are not used to the light and they will go unconscious. Please place them in the bag we give you and give it to us later. If one escapes, report it to Harry. We love that guy. Rule 4, last rule concerning the park. Almost there, buddy. Last thing is, do not ride on anything. The electricity here is unstable at night and the voltage we provide here is small. Most of the voltage goes towards the lamps and others for other small processes. If you activate anything that uses electricity significantly, refer to Code B. Rule 5, trespassing. If you notice someone trespassing, we expect you to handle them. You have a baton with you and a really strong vest for fighting, so if violence occurs you are 100% safe. Code A. So you didn't email Harry. Unfortunately you are going to be fired. Sorry man, but everything has to be right here. Any mistakes could hurt someone in the daytime. We won't know if you did something bad, but if something terrible happens the next day you should be prepared to get blamed. Legally the park can't sue you because it's their fault for having unsafe equipment and stuff, but we sure can fire you. It would be a shame though, I like you, so let's hope this doesn't happen. Code B. So you activated something with a significant power usage. Well, you could have messed up badly. A. If you turned on a roller coaster, then all of the low voltage power will be used up activating the roller coaster, meaning all the lights switch off. This means that you will waste everyone's time. But it gets even worse. While you are safe, someone else isn't. The weird things will come out and someone is at risk of getting injured really badly. Those machines, I hope they are, will also wander around because the lights will be off until the roller coaster is finished, so they could destroy stuff that look humanoid. We will take the cash out of your paycheck to repair them if this happens. B. You turned on anything with a high power usage, but it can be turned off quickly. Okay, just turn it off straight away. Thanks for working here. Remember, if you need help, go to Harry.